and the Marquoyer has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild snap, work fell. Here's another shot, right in front of scores! Henderson has scored for Canada.
All right, welcome to the Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Arvy, and we got Manveer here again. We took a break last week because of the snowstorm.
Nice. Yeah, brutal.
You're still wearing that toque.
No, I know. I couldn't even go out. Like, I was like, oh, geez, maybe I'll go to the local rink because it's just down the street. And I'm like, oh, I'll be the only one there.
Yeah.
No jokes.
Were you the only one there?
No, I tried going out.
You tried going, but you couldn't even get out.
I couldn't even get out.
Yeah.
I was struggling to even get out of my street.
Yeah, I know. When you messaged me, I was like, man, I feel like we have momentum and we got a lot of things to talk about because of the whole Marner thing.
Yeah,
situation.
that was like, especially because we watched it the
we
night
watched
before.
the game together too and everything. But I was like, all right, there's too much snow. We can't see anything. All right, it's fine. We'll just cancel.
Yeah.
And we'll just continue this week. Why don't we start off with Crosby's emotional the tribute thing that happened yesterday?
Well, it was cool. Like, I feel like this video tribute thing, like, it's starting to get overplayed. Like, I feel like this one deservedly so.
This was their 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary
of when the Pittsburgh
cup.
Penguins won the cup.
That team was like, oh geez, like when you think of like what you need to win a cup, you had great goaltending, you had Letang on the back end, then you have like star forwards like Crosby, and then you have your even Malkin as one of your star guys, and then even you have your like role playing guys like Kunitz. It was such a great team.
It was a good team, and just I think when I was just watching it when he was getting emotional, it was more of like I think it's just his competitive nature too.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it was been so long since the last time the team was actually competitive. You could tell he has that fire in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll stick around till he wins?
Yeah, of course. And then Malkin too, same thing. And I mean, Malkin's still not signed yet.
Signed, yeah.
Which is bizarre. Like, get this guy signed.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the team. Do you think the team's like, oh, we need to go like a
it
different?
doesn't matter. I think that guy has proved it this year that he still has it.
Do you think he signs for like a veteran minimum or something next year? Or?
No, I don't think so.
You think he wants a little bit of money?
I still think he's gonna sign for like $3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still worth it.
Do you think they'll play young? That's tongue twister. Longer than younger.
No. I think he's gonna play. Most likely, he'll play exactly what Crosby plays.
Okay.
They'll most likely
they'll go out together.
That's how I see it.
How long did Malkin come in before Crosby or after?
Malkin's draft was before Crosby's.
Okay, just a year before, right?
A year before.
Oh, okay, cool. So he got drafted the same year as
Ovechkin. Correct.
Cool.
So, just seeing that whole thing. Just if he wants 2 years, give him 2 years. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could put him on the wing. You could play him center. I don't think he's gonna affect anybody's development on that team. He could move around wherever he needs to. So,
and they can move him up and down the lineup too.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, we just thought that he's gonna be a defensive liability. He can't skate anymore, but this year proved the fact that he can. He can still stick around. He's playing well. So why not just sign him? Sign him for the same amount of years as Crosby. Just make them both sit down and be like, all right, let's just work out in a way where you guys will both be signed at the same amount of length. So if it's a 2-year deal for Malkin, sure, sign him. Right? I think they have the cap for it too as well. So why not?
Well, Crosby's just going to take 8.7.
yeah. Exactly. Or the next thing you know, he's like 870.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be 8.7. Yeah. It's totally worth it still. But yeah, I mean, for Pittsburgh, they need to sign that up, move away from that, and then they could start moving on, thinking about the rest of their team.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, Pittsburgh's been playing pretty well this year.
Do you think it's like tough, like looking at Pittsburgh, like you have two really good guys like Crosby, Malkin. Do you think it's tough, like having them on your team and getting to the point where you're like, we have these guys on our team, we have to stay competitive, and we can't really start on or retool or rebuild?
That would only be the question if Pittsburgh Penguins were not doing well right now, if they were just a borderline fringe team, but they're not. They're in a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think anybody's thinking like that. Not this year. I mean, last year was a different story. I think people were looking at it like that, but you got to give them the benefit of the doubt, and they're just such competitive players. And you just give them a chance, and they'll do it.
Do you think this hurts like them, like long term, like them trying to just stay rather than like just like, okay, you had your time? It's like the way I see it is, I'm like, if you're not playing to win the cup, like maybe like, because you look at that team and are they competitive enough to win in the playoffs? Like I don't think so, right? A lot of people might say, hey, they could do it. Anyone has a chance in the playoffs. But I think like that's ultimately what you should be building your team towards. And I'm like, if you're not there, what's the point of getting in, right?
Yeah. I just think that they can compete with the teams in the Metropolitan.
Mm-hmm.
So if they play anybody, they could win the first round. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe the Atlantic would be a little harder. Those teams are a little faster. But when you have one of the best players in the league, like, you have a chance. If you didn't, if Crosby wasn't there and you're inserting another second line center or something, then I completely understand. But Crosby's still one of the best players in the league.
And it's nuts to see like how long he's been so good for, right?
Yeah.
It's like almost like I want to say almost like 20 years now, like getting pretty close, right?
But it's just past 20, not 20. Yeah, it's 20 years for all three of them.
Okay.
Letang, Malkin, and
that's
I think
nuts.
it's almost 20. Yeah, 20 years. Yeah.
That's crazy too. How long they kept that core together too.
Yeah.
Like Letang, he's obviously had like the injuries scares and stuff like that too. But
Yeah.
still, just having three players consistently.
Yeah. So, anyways, when I was watching the tribute, I was like, wow, it's been 10 years. That's insane. Like,
This
it
feels
hit me
like-
too.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's insane. So, yeah, I hope Pittsburgh continues just playing how they are and just sign Malkin and just throw that out the window where those guys are here to stay and there's no doubt.
Let him retire as Penguins.
Yeah, exactly. So the Devils. Let's move on to the other team in the Metropolitan, which is the New Jersey Devils. Hot mess.
It's crazy because the start they had, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, geez, like these guys look kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
And now where they are now, I'm like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
But then it's like all these injuries too, right? They're just like,
Well, they've
bitten by the
always
injury
dealt
bug.
with injuries over the years.
Yeah.
They always do. In the last 20 games, they have like 12 losses. I mean, recently they have been winning more games, I think the last 10 games, but I think they have like six wins in the last 10. But still, like 12 losses in the last 20. They're in second last place in the entire in the conference. So it's like, what do you do? Like, what the hell are they? you know?
I don't know. Do you think? I think it's just they just had a bad stretch where like a couple of their guys got injured. But then again, it comes
It's
like
every year.
yeah,
it's every
it's
year.
same. It's like I think the guys they have too. They're so injury prone. It's just like
Yeah.
consistently being injured. Like Dougie Hamilton always injured. And now they're not even playing him. They're scratching him.
Well, yeah, he has been, like, they scratched him, but then they started playing him again.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, as the New Jersey Devils, like as their GM, or you could talk about their fan base, what do you do? Like, you have Nico Hischier for one more year left after this, I believe. You have Timo Meier on a pretty big deal, right? And he's not living up to that as well. You have Connor Brown at $3 million for next 5 years, I believe. You got to like get rid of him as well.
Well, even like their goaltending, right? Because they have Markstrom and then they have
Markstrom too. He has like 3 years left on his deal.
Yeah. And Allen too. I think he has a couple of years left.
Allen, I don't even think you could get rid of that contract. He has like 6 years
Yeah.
left, right?
Which is nuts.
Yeah, you got Brendan Dillon. I think he has 1 year left, or he is a UFA. You have Brett Pesce as well. Dougie Hamilton, they're trying to get rid of his contract.
Yeah. I think the only way they get rid of that contract too, because it's like a $10 million cap hit, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Only way to do is that they have to eat cap.
Yeah, I think for next 3 years, I believe.
Yeah.
So
It's nuts too, because I feel like even they scratched him. I'm like, oh, you're kind of hurting his value, no?
yeah, but no, but that's like the Panarin thing. They're just resting him so that he doesn't get injured before he gets traded. And me knowing Dougie Hamilton, there's a chance that he can get injured. Just how his history has been,
yeah.
right? So if you're the New Jersey Devils, like, what would you do? Like, right now, are you just going to be complete sellers and then try to be competitive next year, or are you saying that this core doesn't have it and let's start changing?
Well, so that was like my thing. I'm like looking at their team and what they have. Okay, guys that you're not going to move, probably the Hughes brothers. And you start looking outside of that, what they have, and there's not really much there that I think you can do. Like, do you think that start they had at the beginning of the year where they were just on a tear, do you think like that was a fluke, or do you think that was like something that the team actually, like what the team should actually look like without any injuries and stuff? Like, those are my two big questions. I'm like, once you answer those, is like, it kind of tells you which direction you want to go.
The problem with the Devils, there's such high and low teams. Like, there's no in between. For them, is like when things are all going well, they're just on fire. They have no injuries. But when they start having injuries, then they're like one of the worst teams in the league.
That's the thing too, right? It's. I feel like their team they have so much talent, and it's a style that Keefe plays too, that run and gun style where they're like just trying to outscore every team. And when they're on fire, like when you're hot, right?
Yeah.
But then when you cool down, it's like, oh, how do you kind of get out of that style, or how do you adapt and play like a different style?
But like right now, they don't. What injuries do they truly have now? They're losing. They lost 4-1 yesterday to Ottawa, right? It's like, what excuse do you have now? Like
Well,
your team's fully healthy.
Well, isn't Hughes still injured?
Jack Hughes, no, I thought he came back.
Okay, then maybe
Yeah,
I'm
Jack
wrong.
Hughes came back. Like, I don't know. Like if I'm running this thing, I think just the way you're looking at all the premium centers and you're seeing the value that's going for guys like, you know, Robert Thomas or anything, I would definitely be entertaining putting Nico Hischier there. As much I love Nico Hischier. He's a really good 200-foot hockey player. I think he plays the right way, but he's such a premium player right now at a premium price. He has one more year left after this deal, and he's gonna want a big pay raise. Are you gonna be able to? I think the Devils will give it to him, but is it time for you to just kind of change up some of the core players, like even Timo Meier? Maybe if you can't trade him now, you'll be looking at in the offseason trading him away, because he's not getting the touches like he normally did in San Jose.
Do you think you get more value waiting till the off season, or try and trade him away now?
Nico Hischier right now, because you're giving the other team a playoff run plus an extra year of his contract. I personally think Nico Hischier, if the rumors I'm hearing about Robert Thomas and all the value he's gonna get, I get it. Robert Thomas, he's younger, he has a longer contract, but if St. Louis is gonna get a lot for him, Nico Hischier's up there as well.
Well, even then too, I feel like teams are a little bit more desperate at the trade deadline, so you might get a little bit more at the trade deadline versus.
No, but I just think that you should be entertaining right
now.
No,
100%.
Saying that Nico Hischier's on the market.
Yeah.
Because I think teams like, you know, Montreal, teams like Winnipeg, Toronto, you know, maybe you're having teams like even Vegas, maybe even knocking on the door. So you do have there's a lot of teams that are looking for that 1A, you know, that 1C, 2C.
Yeah.
And he could slot in wherever.
The center that can play on the second line, but if you need,
but he's a first liner as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Get what I mean?
Yeah.
So he could play that. I just think that they will get. I think they could get 2 first-round draft picks plus a prospect for him. I could see it. That's just me. But maybe that's because I love Nico Hischier a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like, you know, you're getting 2 prospects, a first rounder, and maybe
well,
a fourth rounder
even looking at last year, right? Like when the Leafs got Lawton, they gave up a first, right? So
So I do think that they could get a lot for him. You know, Brendan Dillon. I'm looking at a lot of these guys that are like a little older. They're in their 30s. You know, Pesci as well.
Yeah.
I'm entertaining that right now. Just looking around. Timo Meier is definitely a guy. I just think that he's not getting that power play time. He keeps moving up and down. He hasn't been consistent since he's been here in New Jersey. He's just never found his footing. So maybe there's a team that's looking for a big guy on the wing, you know, especially good on the power play as well. So maybe it's time for them to start looking for equivalent players. Maybe if they want to do whatever New York Rangers are trying to do, trying to move some guys around and try to fix their core. And then from there, maybe be competitive next year.
Who's like, when you look at New Jersey, who's like your no trade, or like who would you keep?
Well, you're not trading Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
You're not trading Luke Hughes. You're not trading Nemec, right?
What about like Mercer?
Maybe Mercer, I would keep him.
Yeah,
I think
like
he's
him
an
too.
RFA. He's still 24 years old. He's still young. He's 1 year left. You still have what's his name? You got Jesper Bratt. Still keeping Jesper Bratt. He's on a great deal. So I think he's like $6 million for next like 4 or 5 years.
What do you think about like going to their off season? Like, do you think like they need to go chase like a big free agent, or what do you think? Do you think it's something that can be fixed in one off season, or do you think they need to take a long term approach and like maybe look at the bigger picture and see how they can fix this team?
No, I still think their core players are pretty young. Like apart from, you know, like maybe, well, no, they're mostly young, but it's maybe their back end is a little old. So if they kind of move some guys around, Nico Hischier's a guy I think that could really just completely change the way that their team is built if they trade him, and maybe Timo Meier as well. But I think they could be competitive next year. They just need more players that go play a little big.
What do you think about the Hughes brother in playing in Minnesota? He hasn't re-signed yet either.
Yeah.
What happens if he comes over, like just swindle Minnesota?
Well, it could
got
happen.
him to get rid of everything,
that
and then
could happen the following year. But I just think that I don't think they could. They don't need to rip this to the studs. That's just very stupid. I think they got some of the star players that they
have a core.
They have some of the core
Yeah.
star players, and they could build around them. I just think maybe the way that this built right now, they just need to move some guys around, maybe get some good defensemen, and just kind of shuffle the team, make it look a little more balanced.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Because I think their goaltending talent that they have, I think Markstrom, I think it works. Like, sure, they might not be on the best contracts,
Yeah.
but like I think they're probably.
I think New Jersey's a really good like the team. I think New Jersey should entertain getting Wallstat.
Really, because I like you said.
Yeah, because like I mean Minnesota Wild. I mean I just thought about it right now. Minnesota Wild are desperately looking for a number one center.
Mm-hmm.
Nico Hischier going to Minnesota would be perfect, and from there they're just moving guys. Wallstat's going the other way, getting some draft picks and players, and then you're trading Markstrom. Either they want Markstrom as well, or you could send Markstrom somewhere else, and they kind of shuffle that team around.
That's not a bad take.
Get what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting Wallstat coming here, you have a young goaltender. You kind of build from the back end moving forward. Yeah. I think that would be great. So, yeah, I'm actually thinking about it more and more now.
Makes
Nico
sense.
Hischier going to Minnesota would be absolutely perfect. Yeah, so that's my take. I think New Jersey should definitely start entertaining. And Minnesota, they're all in this year. So they will throw around first rounders, and they got some really good draft. They have a prospect, Urov, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted not last year, the year before. He's playing on their second line center. He's kind of holding it down for Minnesota, but he would be a good piece to go the other way as well.
Like, do you think at what point does a team think like it's time to go all in? Like, one thing that we'll talk about it later with the Leafs.
Yeah.
But the Leafs last year, I felt like, oh, this is our year. We got to go all in. And I felt like they gave up too much of their picks, and they kind of financed the future to kind of win now, and it didn't pay out for them. Like, at what point do you think a team needs to go out and like
go all in?
Go all in.
I think you gotta look at your core players first. So if you're looking at, for Minnesota, you're looking at Matt Boldy, you're looking at Kaprizov. So I think you gotta look at their contracts and how their team is built, and from there you could understand what your window is.
But then how do you, like, my big question is, like, how do you determine if it's just like one really good year, or like, like they've had a couple good years now.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, same thing with the Leafs, right? Like, they had a couple good years where they made the playoffs, and then last year they just tried to go all in. And
no, they have been trying to go all in every year.
I felt last year they kind of financed or the future, or like, you know what I mean, compared to like previous years where they didn't really give up too much.
Yeah.
And last year I felt like they really, really went all in. Like, they gave away 2 first-round picks.
Well, they were trying to get players with term. And they've never done that before. Typically, the Leafs were always getting players that were going to be UFAs by the end of the year, so it wasn't going to cost as much. But when you're trying to get a player with an extra year of term, you have to pay the premium price, and that's something that the Leafs didn't do in the past. So that's your difference. That's the reason why you're seeing the Leafs are actually hurting way more than they typically do. But with Minnesota right now, I just think that they're looking at their core players. They're looking at Tarasenko, even Zuccarello. I mean, they're not really core players, but they're still really good role players on that team. And even Zuccarello, he's like 36, 37 years old. So they know that there's certain players that they have, that the window's kind of closing in. And you got Quinn Hughes as well. That kind of really speeds up that window. So they know that they're going to try their best to win a cup this year and next year, and then they'll think about it the year after. But they got the window right now that they got to go for. Because if you don't go for a center right now, if they don't get a little aggressive, then Quinn Hughes, that deal may not be truly worth it. So they got to go all in. Unfortunately, that window, that the stopwatch started going as soon as they made that trade.
Well, it's crazy too, because like another team that I'm thinking of that's just like consistently just going all in is like Vegas, right? You look at Vegas, and I saw something crazy where the last, I think, I don't know if it was 10 years or 7 years. I think they've only drafted one player. Everything else they've either traded or they've traded their pick away.
And the problem with the Vegas Golden Knights is, like, you're looking at their core players and they're all hitting 30s and past 30s.
Yeah.
So their core is getting old, but they're not. But they're going all in now. So they only have like two years.
Well, even
that's it. And the wheels are gonna fall off.
It's crazy too, because I think that for the next possibly 3 years, because Calgary has a pick that converts to a second if they win this year, they have no first round picks.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, with the Devils, I think that's just how they should look at it, a little more short term, because they have the core players. So from there, moving on to another metropolitan team, which we haven't talked about the Devils in the past as much, but the next team is the Flyers. Like, what the hell are the Flyers, man? I still can't figure it out. Like, are they rebuilding? Are they retooling? Are they going for it? Like, what the hell are they?
They're just in the middle.
Yeah, it's just like like when it comes to all the other fans, nobody really talks about the Flyers anymore because they're just like under the radar.
Well, they're just like it's just like they're just in not mediocre land, but they're just in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not a bad team. They're not at the bottom, but they're not at the top.
Like,
they're just like right in the middle.
Because you're looking at the Sabres, at least they have their first overall draft picks and everything, and they have been drafting. It just hasn't been working well. But the team, the way it looks on paper, it's been constructed really well. With the Flyers, is like they're drafting, but then they're not really drafting and trying to build a core team. It just looks like they're just scattered their players. They don't got a true number one center still, right?
Yeah.
And they don't even have a true number one defenseman.
Well, even goalie too,
and
right?
they don't even have a true number one goaltender. So what the hell are you guys?
Yeah,
You guys got Mitchkov on your wing, but then he's playing third line right now. He's not even on the first power play. Are you guys developing right now? Are you guys trying to go for it? Like, what the hell are you guys trying to do? Right?
Well, even like Zegers, right? Like they got him, and they're thinking, oh, he might be that number one guy at center and stuff like that. But
yeah, but it just seems like with the Flyers, they're just hoping for a lot. But the way that they're drafting, then they're trying to mold their team. It just seems like, all right, if this sticks, this sticks. If it doesn't, all right, we'll just next year draft somebody else.
Well, same thing with like Gent. Was it Genter, right? They drafted him and then they shipped him off to Anaheim and
Gauthier, you mean?
Gauthier, that's right. Yeah, that's what I'm
Gauthier.
thinking about. Yeah, Gauthier, he's doing amazing in Anaheim, and it's like, oh, geez, like
it doesn't seem like they have a true, just from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like they have a true philosophy of when is this rebuild or retool or whatever going to be finished. I have no idea,
Well, it's such a tough market too to be like mediocre because like I feel like the fans, they just let them hear it if they just throw out a team.
Like sometimes they'll sign a player long term, and then I'll be sitting there like, all right, so is this player part of their actual core team, or are they signing because they need to get up on the cap and be competitive? So sometimes it just doesn't make sense. They take one step forward and then two steps back, and then.
Do you think it's like a premier market, like where players want to go and play, or like do you think?
I think if the team actually had some kind of, if they had one or like if Mitchkov right now was playing like what everybody expected him to play, like a Celebrini or Demidov or something, if he was playing at the high level, I think there will be players that slowly start looking at them and be like, all right, I want to play with this kid. I think this team's going to be competitive. But when the team is just like all over the place, man.
I'm trying to think of like the last team in Philadelphia that was like super competitive, and it's Giroux, Richards, Emery, and Pronger was on that team too. And I'm like, ever since then, it's just like, when they got rid of Giroux and stuff, and I'm like,
they broke that core up.
They broke that core up, and they kind of lost that identity, right?
Yeah.
And now then they tried bringing it back, like being. I like the way they play, man. They play like tough hockey, and they're very physical, and it's like, the Broad Street Bullies, and I'm like, oh geez, like it's crazy. Exactly. It's just like they're just like, I don't know how to explain. They're just like in the middle. That's
they're just right in the middle. Like I'm looking at Travis Konechny, right? When he was drafted, I was super excited because this guy has like a heart of a leader. But then he's playing on this team, great winger, and he is part of the solution. But I feel like they have wasted his years there. Like wasted his years, and I just feel like, are you guys just, why don't you guys tear it down one more time? Just start all over, because like if Mitchkov and Konechny and Owen Tippett, if they're your future wingers, then get serious and start looking for a number one center, looking for a number one defenseman. Like you guys I don't think Drysdale's the guy. I don't think Cam York's that guy. So I don't know, man. Philadelphia, I just look at them and I just always scratch my head, and I'm always confused. And even in the standings, I just skip through them because I don't know what the hell they're gonna be. Even if they're in a playoff spot, I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, because they're right on the board.
Yeah, they're gonna drop to 10th, and then they're just gonna get a middle of the order pick.
Well, that's how it's been. I think last couple of years, right? They just finished middle of the order and just not really got anything super crazy. Well,
Mitchkov was a really good pick too, and when Travis Konechny was drafted in I think it was 22 or 23 overall. I wanted the Leafs to draft him at that time too. And a lot of teams I was looking around like, yo, you got to draft Travis Konechny. You got to draft him. And then he went to the Flyers. I thought Detroit would have been a really good team if they drafted Travis Konechny there. It would have been great. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like with Travis Konechny, poor guy, I think he has everything. If that guy could truly play in the playoffs, I think he is a game changer. But the Flyers don't have, I don't know. They don't have I don't think that they haven't convinced the fans what the hell they're trying to do. I think they're all over the place.
I don't know. Like I look at that team and I'm like, just sure, like they have the pieces there, but it's just they're just
They have some pieces, but it just feels like they're scattered, in the team. Like, it doesn't seem like the team is just relying on those guys and be like, all right, you guys are our future, and we're going to build your team around that. It just seems like, all right, we're going to throw a piece here and a piece here, and then we'll let you guys all figure it out.
Well, that's why I think it kind of translates to ice, too. You look at them, and they're so inconsistent, right? Like, some nights they look really, really good, and then some nights they just get blown out. You're just like, oh, What are we watching, right?
Yeah. So, anyways, I guess the questions that we have asked, I don't think we have any answers.
It was fun when Torts was there.
Yeah. No, it was.
That's fun wherever he goes, right?
So, but okay. Now let's just look for the solutions for the Flyers. Yeah. If you're running this team, what are you doing?
I don't know, man, because like it's so tough, right? Because like they're competitive, and it's not like they're not in a situation where they're like a Calgary or something like that, where they're just I think they're like out of a playoff spot, or like they can't. I like, honestly, the way they play, they can do damage in the playoffs. Like when you look at real physical teams in the playoffs, like I think they give a lot of teams trouble.
I think they're so bad down the middle, man.
Yeah,
and defensively too. I don't know, man. I'm not. I think if they even if they make the playoffs, they're gonna get blown out of the waters first round.
I think the way they play is, I think it'll translate well into the playoffs, because playoffs, like I feel like when you go to the playoffs, I feel like the game slows down a little bit more and you play a little bit more physical game, and I feel like the way they play in the regular season, I think it'll translate well in the playoffs.
I know they have Dvorak and everything. They extended him, but he's not a number one center. Because they're playing him like a number one center. Sean Couturier is a number two center, which is one of the worst contracts in the league. And they can't. I don't know if they go even get rid of that. There was rumors going on that they were going to try to trade him in mid-season for another bad contract.
Well, what about Hischier? Like, do you think that's a good spot for him? Because
but are they? I mean, is Philly going to mortgage a lot of their future to get a player?
Well, the thing is,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if Philadelphia goes and tries to trade for a really good number one center, let's just say that Philly is on Robert Thomas, because I think Robert Thomas is a much better fit for the Philadelphia Flyers than Nico Hischier is. He has good term, and I think they have prospects and they have picks, and that could definitely entertain St. Louis. I think that's a better match. Robert Thomas going into the Philadelphia Flyers, being a number one center. You guys got Owen Tippett. Then you guys could start talking about actually having a core.
I'm just curious. I want to see how far the Flyers are out from a playoff spot. I'm just super curious
because right now it's the Hurricanes, the Capitals, and the Islanders in the top three spots. The wild cards are already both taken from the Atlantic teams, so they're still looking on the outside looking in.
Well, the Flyers are third worst in the East.
Yeah.
And they're at 58 points. They're just behind the Leafs.
There you go. So they're bad, but they're not bad enough.
Yeah, this year is like such a crazy year because they're
in the East, it's definitely a crazy,
because they're 9
year.
points out, right? So man, I thought they were better. I thought they were like in a spot like close to where Columbus was, where they're like 61 points and they're only like 6 points out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah,
this year's such a crazy year, man. I'm just looking at the standings right now, and Florida's not even in.
No, Florida has the same amount of points. They have one extra game on the Leafs, and they have the same amount of games as the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, they're at 15, but they're 8 points out too, right?
But this is what I'm saying with the Philadelphia Flyers. It's just like they're just floating. They're just floating, and if they're gonna be serious, if they think that the wingers that they had, they got Mitchkov, they got Owen Tippett, they got Konechny, if they feel like those guys are the future and they want to move forward and be a little more aggressive, that Robert Thomas should be included. Get a number one center, and then start looking at your defense.
Would you, like, if you're a GM of a team, would you rather rebuild by signing like a veteran presence, or like, not veteran?
I think they already have enough veteran guys on this team.
Veteran, but let's say, like, would you rather go out and get someone that's already played in the NHL, or would you want to go the draft route and maybe draft someone younger, or would you rather go like maybe trade for someone?
Well, this team is such a mediocre team right now, but they have such great wingers. So I don't know, man. I think you would keep Owen Tippett, you would keep Mitchkov. If you really want to like speed this thing up, maybe Travis Konechny is a guy that you're looking at trading. I honestly think that he's such a great fit there with the Philadelphia Flyers, like as a player who represents the city. But I just think that the way this team is built, it's very bizarre how it's built. They need a number one center and they need a number one defenseman. I think that's a top priority. Then you could build your team outwards.
Around that.
So if you're looking at trading Travis Konechny, go get your picks and everything and just bottom out this year. If you're not doing that, then you're looking at a guy like Robert Thomas, and you should be aggressive to go get him, and just go from there. But Sean Couturier is another contract. It's a bad contract. Are you maybe looking and knocking on Calgary's door and be like, you have Huberdeau, we have Sean Couturier, you guys want to flip? I don't know if it solves any problems, and I know Sean Couturier is a really good leader in that locker room.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Maybe
Huberdeau
that would
is
hurt.
just as good a leader.
Yeah, but maybe it's a good change in scenery
Scenery.
for both of them.
No, I was gonna say the same thing
Yeah.
too.
So
Sometimes, like, same thing with Skinner. Like, we were talking about earlier in the year. Like, he just switched and went to Pitt. No,
for Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh, and
yeah.
he's been one of the hottest goalies in the league, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes all you need is just a change of scenery.
Yeah,
Maybe you can't handle the cold, but it's cold in Philly too.
yeah, but it's colder in Calgary. Oh, in Calgary. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's pretty much what you could do with the Flyers. I mean, you could rip it to the studs if you want, but you got some of the pieces. Either you have two paths. Which path do you want to take? I don't know, man. I would personally go and trade Travis Konechny, get picks and pieces, and try to bottom out and go from there. But if you get a guy like Robert Thomas, then you have to be a little more aggressive and start hitting on some picks and hitting on some young players.
Well, even
for them.
and that, like, I know we talked about two teams already, but like even the Blues, like it's such a crazy contrast. Like last year, they had that crazy run, made it just squeaked in.
But the team just got older.
But
the Blues, they got
like
older.
you look at that team, they have a lot of really good young talent too. Like they got Neighbors.
Yeah.
They have like a couple other guys too.
I mean,
right?
Robert Thomas is still young. Kyrou is still young. They're
Yeah.
young players. It's just unfortunate. It's just not working, man. Everything's not fitting, and they got some older guys, and they just need to move them around and just build a new core. That's what they got to do. So the Flyers, they're in a situation.
I don't know, man. That team,
But they don't want to tank.
Yeah.
They haven't tanked still, like, for a while. So I personally think they're just gonna start floating around, but they gotta start making a little better trades and start getting some players that they could build their team around. They gotta stop wasting time. So that's my thing on the Flyers. I want to talk about two rookies. You're talking about Sennecke, and you're talking about Sennecke and Demidov. Two rookies I wanted to talk about. Very similar. They have 54, 55 games. I think Demidov has 3 more points than Sennecke right now. I think he's at 2 points. 45 points for Demidov, 43 points for Sennecke. But Demidov's like a +7, I think, and then Sennecke's a -5.
I think that's just because of the teams they play on, right?
Yeah. Both drafted in the same round in 2024. Sennecke was a third overall, and then you had Demidov, who was a 5th. So you're looking at, I don't know, man. I've been watching both of them play, and I look at Sennecke and just his speed, and he scored a hat trick I think last week. I'm just like, wow, this guy, he's like amazing. And then looking at Demidov, like, god damn, like, two exciting players, and one trophy for this year for Rookie of the Year.
No, it's
those two, and then Schaefer, I think, are the 3 guys are.
Oh, well, I would even put Schaefer ahead of those 2 guys.
You think you have Schaefer ahead of them?
Well, the reason why I have Schaefer ahead of him is, like, you look at impact to a team.
Yeah.
And, like, you look at that New York Islanders team, and it's like, what's really changed? Nothing's changed. The only thing they did was brought in this young kid, right?
Yeah.
And the impact he's had on the team, like, they're pushing for a playoff spot.
I agree. I agree. I totally agree that Schaefer is. I think he should win the Calder.
Yeah.
But I was just looking at these two because stylistically very similar. And just seeing who's gonna kind of push further this year, and even looking at their actual careers moving forward, like which player is gonna be better than the other. You know, just watching them play, it's gonna be interesting.
Man,
even the way that their teams are built. You got the Ducks have a little bit more veteran players around him, while with Montreal I feel like they're a little more younger. So it's like which
I was gonna say, like,
push forward?
how lucky are they too, right? Like, they both went to organizations that, like, like Montreal, great coaching. Same thing with Anaheim. You went to a team, great coaching with Quenneville.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, good years. Like, they're playing on 2 like competitive teams, right? It's not like, oh, they're going to like Arizona or someone like right at the bottom, like a Calgary or something like that, right?
No, for sure.
And sometimes like that helps, right, with your development and stuff like that too, right?
It's good to have players, even if your team is not competitive, like with speed or anything, or you don't have other younger players. But if you have a really good locker room, that also makes a difference. But then if you're going to an organization that doesn't really have a vision and they're still trying to figure things out, sometimes for a rookie to go into a team like that, it's hard because you can't be consistent the entire season. You're only going to have partial runs and then you just kind of cool off because the team's cooling off as well.
It's crazy too because all these kids are under 20.
Nuts, man. The NHL has completely changed, man. How we used to look into prospects maybe even 15 years ago and how we used to develop and how much time they needed. And now if you're looking at it, sometimes they don't even need a year.
No, that's what I was just going to say. I was just going to say the same thing. I'm like, now you look at prospects and the way it's like get them to the league sooner so that they can kind of experience it and get used to it, right? And
I'm not even talking about, there has been a lot of players. You could see the 2003 draft. A lot of players came in the first year and they started playing well. But I'm just saying like the speed that they're playing with and the maturity that they're playing with, you're just seeing a higher number of players at a younger age just right away kind of figure out that learning curve and they've figured it out. I just feel, I don't know. I'm just looking at maybe a percentage and the league has gone younger too. Cause maybe what am I talking about? The peak of a player used to be around, like a forward used to be around like 27, 28.
Okay, I was going to think it was a little bit older, like right around like 29, 30-ish.
No, but the window, I believe the window was between 27 to 32. That's what they were talking about. Like that's
the
your
prime
of your player, like of the player. But now I feel like it's starting at 23. I think the prime started like a typical average prime for a player. I think it starts from 23 to 28 maybe now. It's different. The game's completely different. I think once you hit 30, now you're
a step behind. Differently.
Yeah, you start getting like I'm just talking about the average player.
Yep. So. Well, even now, like you look at the NHL, and I feel like it's more like a game of athletes, right?
Yeah.
You look at it, it's just so much faster. It's like you got to be like super fast skating and stuff like that. It's not like it's not as slow. Like sometimes you watch some of these older games and you're like, oh Jesus, slow.
Yeah, if you watch the Rangers play, it's like, wow, this is slow. Yeah. Like, right. But yeah, majority of the teams are very fast, man. That's why I like with the Ducks and the Canadians is just so entertaining to watch. They're just so fast.
Especially the Ducks, man. Like I swear to God, they're like
Ducks
average,
fly, man.
Yeah, fly together. Ducks fly together.
Yeah, man.
But I was gonna say, man, it's like crazy because they're like 5-goal games, like pretty much every night, right?
Yeah.